Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about the topic the foundation of the Mughal Empire. So first ruler of the Mughal Empire was Babur. In somehow he belonged to royal ancestry through his mother and father Taimur, and Genghis Khan was their relatives. So in that situation, Daulat Khan, the governor of the Punjab and Ibrahim Lodi's uncle, invited Babur to invade India. So Daulat Khan invited Babur. To invade India. When he ascended the throne, he conquered Samarkand at the age of 14 years only. So as he was very ambitious man and he wanted to establish his influence in the history, for that purpose he invaded India in 1526 after defeating the Ibrahim Lodi in the first battle of Panipat. He ascended the throne of the India. So a first battle in 1526, the battle of Panipat, he ascended the throne and defeated Ibrahim Lodi. So first battle of Panipat, we will discuss the first battle of Panipat. So Ibrahim Lodi and Babur come face to face at Panipat in 1526. After 7 days of full-scale war, Ibrahim Lodi was defeated and Babur was ascended the throne. There were several reasons for the victory of the Panipat. First of all was the Babur had used artillery which was unknown to the Indians, and his army was better trained than the Lodi's army, and cavalry was superior. Cavalry is the army which ride the horses. They fought riding on the horses, and he also took over Agra, which was made the capital. On April 27, 1526, he announced himself as the emperor of the India. After the battle of Panipat, Babur was very enthusiastic to fight more battles, and he fought Battle of Kanwa, Battle of Chanderi, and Battle of Ghagra. So Battle of Kanwa in 1526, Battle of Kanwa in 1527. Rana Sanga of Mewar, leader of the Rajputs. So Rana Sanga was the leader of the Rajputs. He marched towards Agra and had large army consisting of Rajputs and Afghans. In his army both Rajputs and Afghans were there. A very fierce battle was fought, but in that battle the Rajputs were routed and they that area fell into into the hands of the Babur. So second is the Battle of Chanderi in 1528. Battle of Chanderi in 1528. In the Battle of Khanwa, the Rajputs cannot crush the powers of spirit of their warfare. So Babur marched against Chanderi, which was a stronghold of the Rajputs. On 29 January 1528, Babur's army captured the fort of Chanderi, and the Rajputs come under the Babur's authority. Next is the Battle of Ghagra in 1529. Battle of Ghagra in 1529. Babur had to force the Afghan forces on the banks of Ghagra. Ghagra is river. So Babur's army defeated the Afghans in 6th May 1529. And after that battle, after 1 year, Babur died in 1530. You have to remember these important dates also. Keep remembering. Babur died in 1530. He was born in 1483 AD and died in 1530 AD. So an estimate we will discuss how the Babur conquered the India. So he was very ambitious man, brave, and he has a great respect among the soldiers. The soldiers respect his words, and he was a gifted poet and author also. His autobiography Tujhke Babri, also known as Baburnama, is regarded as excellent literary work. A new form of warfare where artillery and cavalry were used together in a war was introduced by the Babur. So it was the achievements of the Babur. Thank you. In this video we will talk about Humayun, the son of the Babur. So Babur's son Humayun, his real name was Nasiruddin, and he was given the title of Humayun. Humayun means fortunate. Humayun means fortunate, means lucky. He was very lucky for him. After ascending the throne, Humayun found himself surrounded by rivals, Rajputs and Afghans. His own brothers were also against him because they also wanted to ascend the throne of the India. So at the time, Sher Khan, the Afghan ruler of Bihar, had also ambition of becoming the Sultan of Delhi. So besides this, Humayun's own brothers Kamran, Hindal and Askari. Kamran, Hindal and Askari were the brothers of the Humayun. They were also against them. They were not satisfied with Humayun. So the first revolt was against him was Kamran, his own brother. At that time, Bahadur Shah, the ruler of Gujarat, Bahadur Shah, ruler of Gujarat, marched against Humayun in 1535. 1535, but Humayun failed to retain the Gujarat. So Sher Khan took advantage of Humayun's presence in Gujarat, and he strengthened his position in Bengal and Bihar. Sher Khan was in Bihar and Bengal. Humayun was busy with the Bahadur Shah in Gujarat. So Sher Khan took advantage of that situation, and he put his stronghold in Bihar and Bengal. So the Battle of Kannauj, Battle of Kannauj between Humayun and Sher Khan was the main battle. It was contested bitterly. Humayun's younger brother Askari and Hindal also fought, but Humayun lost this battle, and Sher Shah occupied the throne of the Delhi. So Battle of Kannauj was fought between 1540, and the throne of Delhi went to in the hands of Sher Shah. Sher Shah Suri. So Humayun was emperor in the 1530, but in the Battle of Kannauj he lost the throne, and Sher Shah Suri ascended the throne in 1540. After that, Humayun lost his throne. He wandered through Rajasthan and Sindh, and he left for Persia. He went back to Persia. He gathered a Persian force and reconquered Kabul and Kandahar in 1545. And meanwhile, in 1545, Sher Shah's successor was very weak, and Humayun took advantage of this situation, and he again ascended the throne in 1555. But he died in 1556. Thank you. Hello students, let's discuss about the Emperor Sher Shah Suri. Sher Shah Suri ruled over Delhi from 1540 to 45. He ruled only for 5 years, but it was a very important time period for Delhi because in this period there was lots of improvements in the administration. Sher Shah Suri, he was the son of a Jagirdar of Bihar. His actual name was Farid Khan. During under the rule of Bihar, he single-handedly killed a tiger. After that, after killing the tiger, he came to known as Sher Shah. So he was a great conqueror and extended his empire by annexing Punjab, Sindh and Multan. He fought 2 battles against Humayun. The Battle of Kannauj in 1540, it was very important battle as Humayun was defeated by the Sher Shah Suri. He became emperor in the ripe age of 67. He performed many good functions for the good administration of India. First of all, he constructed a grand trunk road which is still there from Peshawar to Sonargaon. He also built roads from Agra to Jodhpur. To make travel comfortable, Sher Shah built many sarais. Sarais means rest houses where the travelers can rest for the night or day. Many sarais and wells were made. He divided his empire into 47 provinces. Provinces like nowadays India is divided into states. Same way that time empire was divided into 47 provinces which were called sarkars. And further these sarkars were divided into parganas. Parganas means district like Jalandhar and Ludhiana. These are districts. Same way the sarkars were further divided into parganas and parganas divided into several villages. And for that, for the proper administration of these provinces, he appointed muqaddams. He established a good postal system also. Special officers were appointed for each unit. So revenue system, revenue was fixed and land was measured according to its yield. Land was divided into 3 categories: good, middle and bad. Taxes could be paid in cash or kind. Sher Shah also a great builder. He built the Purana Qila, Qila-e-Kohna Masjid and a famous fort and Rohtasgarh. Death of Sher Shah. Sher Shah died in AD 45. He ruled only for 5 years. His successors were weak, and in AD 1555, Humayun returned to India and captured Delhi and Agra. Thank you.